I'm asking myself questions like, why did I do it? Why did this happen to me? Then I said, you can get through it. You just have to believe what I do now. Gotta make it all count. So why not me?
Good evening, good people, and welcome to the initial launch of Intentionally Spoken Podcast. I am your host, your creator, personal guide, the one and only intentionality midwife in life, Shawan Sharika. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to finally release this podcast, as it has been brewing in my spirit for some time now. So on today, October 20th, 2020, it is so. This podcast is an intimate journey of a survivor's will to not just overcome, but to also win in every area of life, intentionally and now. Today is a tremendous milestone in my life, and I chose to share that milestone candidly, the backstory, with each and every one of you, my new community of friends. 40 years ago today, at the age of 7, my 23-year-old mom succumbed to a brief bout with ovarian cancer. I remember this date in 1980 as if it was just yesterday. It was brimming and excitement and all types of, let me tell you, there was much excitement because mommy was coming home from the hospital. And that was enough to keep me brimming for the day. And I knew that she was making that lasagna just for me. I couldn't wait to get home to taste it. I was in the 2nd grade at Nativity St. Peter Claver School in Brooklyn, New York. And at that time, I was pretty much somewhat concentrating on my schoolwork that day, but I really wanted to just get home to mommy. So as soon as school was dismissed, I darted out to her silver and burgundy ragtop Cougar. But much to my surprise, it was auntie and uncle in the seat, and not mommy. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Still excited, thinking, okay, well maybe she's just home putting the finishing touches on my lasagna. And so I asked, look, is she home? Did she come? Is the lasagna ready? Full of excitement, just ready and willing to just pull mommy into my space because I hadn't seen her in a while. So instantly, again, before anyone could even answer, as I'm jumping in the car, I'm like, what happened? What happened? And then finally, auntie says, she didn't come home. She passed away. And in that moment, 50 to 20, 30, 100 questions just popped and went, and I was just all over the place mentally, and it was a thing of, well, what do you mean? So I was somewhat smart, wanted to make sure I understood what she was saying. I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? She died? And auntie was like, yeah. And I could tell in that moment that by far this was going to be the one point in my life that changed the entire trajectory of everything that was to come. 1980 was truly a game changer for me. The topics, the content, and the journey that you will encounter in this podcast are told from a posture of victory as a result of what has oftentimes been deemed as being a victim of an unlikely or unfathomable situation. Every guest that you will encounter in this podcast will come telling a story of pain and victory. Because what we do know is that we are all overcomers, conquerors, and survivors of the very things that we thought were gonna take us out. Each episode is guaranteed to pull on your emotions, so get ready. Get ready, good people. I'm telling you, Intentionally Spoken will address, uncover, discover, highlight, compel, and even propel each and every listener to live an authentic and transparent life unapologetically, simply by speaking in and walking in your intentionality. ISP, yes, Intentionally Spoken Podcast, will strategically serve and deploy tangible, audible, and visual tools to be your compass and roadmap, where men and women will hone and honestly begin to live in tune with who they truly are. Each Thursday evening at 9 p.m., I will transparently share firsthand, valuable, life-altering, forward-thinking experiences of some of my amazing guest experiences as well as my own. It is my absolute, and as I said before, utter pleasure to support, encourage, and truly just push you along this journey, thus being the midwife in your life. Transparency is the one thing that you'll absolutely get, and it's the absolute thing that you must use to transform your current perspectives, perceptions, and all things intentional. I am truly excited to bring you on this journey with me. Thoughts, patterns, people, places, outdated traditions, judgmental opinions, and rigid routines will definitely and consecutively put you at practice to getting rid of those preconceived notions. And let me tell you something, they won't pimp or prop you either. Those endeavors are gonna come to fruition. The sole objective of ISP is to be your intentionality navigation. I, again, am personally your midwife to do such. Purpose and passions to prosper in environments that would truly suggest otherwise just because of your past and your pain. Get comfortable, sit back, remain objective, take notes, thus being my pen and book. Acknowledge that perhaps, just perhaps, in a matter of weeks, days, or maybe it'll take a little longer, years, that you will be well on your way to fostering thoughts and processes that edify your divine purpose in life. Each episode has a charge and a call of action upon you. We can do it together, but we must do our own work. Together we will be glorious. Yep, practice still makes perfect, so there will be exercise challenges and to-do lists, and it's all to keep you accountable. We're gonna do this together, as I said before. Not gonna leave you by the wayside, I promise you. This podcast was created for men and women who are ready, willing, and committed to finally live a life on purpose with intentionality as the map to this particular world. This commitment is between you and we're gonna do it together. I'm welcoming you into my space to do this intentionally spoken walk. It is my pleasure to be your guide, your midwife in life, Shawan Sharika. See you next time.
Why? I can make it, I can take it.